Hello, hello. Welcome to Estela Lugo's channel. As usual, we talk about art, but in this case is a different kind of art. For that, I have with me an special guest, Paul Banford. Hello, Paul.
Hello,
Very
Stella.
welcome to my channel.
Croesioti, which is Welsh for welcome to you.
Oh, in Welsh. Where were you born?
Where was I born? Oh, well.
Yes.
Yes, I am a Welshman. I was born in a small mining village called Aberfan in the South Wales Valleys.
Oh.
And I grew up there until I was 18 when I left to go off to university.
It's a place long time ago. I saw a video, a documentary about it. I think it was a tragedy. Do you remember that tragedy?
Yes, you're talking about the home village of Aberfan. Uh, in 1966, I was 16 years old. And as I mentioned, this is a coal mining village, and the slurry or the excess, the waste products from coal mining were basically dumped on the hillside. And this dump of coal mining waste got so big that eventually they actually covered over an existing stream of water that started up in the mountainside.
Okay.
And on one night in an October storm, there was so much water built up underneath this coal mining tip that the whole thing slid down the mountainside, and it buried a school and several houses. Unfortunately, 144 people died as a result of that.
144, wow.
Of which over 100, I think it was 116 of them were children between the ages of 7 and 11. There were a few other slightly older ones because it actually hit 2 schools.
Well, it's something sometimes in the world, unfortunately, the nature give us some surprise.
That's very true.
Terrible, yes. But change the subject now. Our art we are talking about is singing.
Singing, yes.
Yes.
Singing, yeah.
Paul, when you start to sing, what age was?
Well, to be honest, I cannot remember not singing. So I suppose I do remember my first day at an infant school, aged under 5 years old, and being asked to sing for the school teachers there. But before that, I also remember standing in front of a coal fire which was heating the house, and singing for my parents and my uncles and aunts and anybody else who wanted to come along and listen. So yes, I have been singing as long as I can remember.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes, it was your passion, really. That means for 2, 3, 4, as soon you start talking.
Yes, I'm not sure I refer it as a passion. It was what I did. That was just me. I sang. Any opportunity, I would sing.
Okay.
And in fact, the request usually was, enough, Paul, stop.
Okay,
Because I would sing for absolutely anything and everything.
Okay.
Now, Wales is also known as the land of song. So, it was very natural for me to sing, and everybody around me would sing. So it was very natural.
Oh, very natural. Okay. And after you singing in your house with the family, with different events, you did another events in the school or participate in some competition?
Yes. I mean, you really started going into let's call it my singing career. I certainly started singing at school because it was picked up very quickly that I could sing. And I remember around the age of 11 being used to demonstrate the right sort of songs and the right way of singing for a local, what they call a Gamanfa. Gamanfa Gani is a festival of song. And we had a regional Gamanfa Gani where all the schools were involved, and the conductor would keep on picking me out and say, Paul, show them how to sing that part. And of course, that meant I had to know it better than anybody else, and I never enjoyed that bit. But again, I did it. I used to sing for everybody else.
What kind of singing was yours? You were singing pop music or?
Oh, no. I need to split my singing career into two parts, to be real. I have a solo singing period in my life, and I have a chorister singing period in my life. And the chorister one will come much later in these discussions, I'm sure. The solo singing, which is what I'm talking about now, started off singing either small Welsh folk songs or Welsh hymns, always in Welsh.
Yes, but excuse me, Paul. I interested now. You tell me about what happened when you were a child, uh, because you mentioned, I think, about some competitions in Welsh,
Yeah.
and even you won the national competition.
Yes, that's
I
true.
think that is his background. I think it's very interesting.
Okay.
Listen about that
There was always singing competitions at school.
at the
Right.
school.
So,
Okay.
and even though it was a fairly large school, I was the singer, so I always won the school competitions, and
Okay.
really didn't think anything of it. Though the other children used to take
Yeah.
the mickey out of me for doing it. Um, but I was also entered by the school into regional competitions with an organisation known as the IRD. That's spelled URDD, Welsh for Youth Movement. And I won the regional competitions many years running, probably 4 or 5 years running. But
Okay.
in 1963, I actually won the national competition for the whole of Wales. And that's when the
Wow.
Irid Eisteddfod, and again, an Eisteddfod is a form of festival, or cultural festival, covering all the arts, dancing, singing, poetry, you name it, it's all involved in it. And in 1963, in Ruthin in North Wales, I won the Urdd boy soprano solo singing competition.
Boy
I was
soprano.
a boy soprano. Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
So that was the tone of my voice as a boy soprano.
Boy soprano
Yeah,
was
yeah.
is I think it's something wonderful had that kind of skill. Boy soprano. Wow. Okay. And until what time did you were a boy soprano?
Of 12, 13, when you go into puberty, your voice breaks. You go from being a boy soprano into something else. And there's a
Ah,
period which probably lasts 4 or 5 years while your voice settles into something totally different. In my case, I went from
yes.
a boy soprano
Hmm.
into a tenor baritone. And
Ah,
ever since then, my voice has been a tenor baritone, which I'll demonstrate later. And I go, as you get older, it gets deeper and deeper. So I'm heading
yes.
from being a tenor baritone more towards a baritone. So over time, I'll probably end my days down there in the bass section.
And after that competition, when you were you won the national,
Yeah,
the
the IRD national. It's not the seniors. The IRD is the youth movement only. Okay,
okay.
yeah.
Mm, after that, what happened with you?
Well, I suppose my fame picked up because well, even before that, I would sing locally with local male voice choirs
Hmm.
as the solo spot in a concert. So I did that for many years. But a combination of that and the competitive singing meant that I was picked up, and I started singing on local television in
Oh,
a TV program called Land of Song, which is what we call the country.
Land of Sun.
La-
Oh yes,
yeah,
very famous. I was reading the other day on internet about it. Yes,
yes,
it's
yeah. Now,
very famous program. But that was when you were between 8, 10, 12, 11 years
probably
old,
it
or
was very close to the time my voice broke, because I only managed to
very close.
do 2 seasons before my voice broke and I couldn't sing anymore. Yes, so it was led by a famous Welsh singer known as Ivor Emanuel, most famous for his starring part in a film called Zulu. But beyond
Mhm.
that, most of his fame came from his TV work in this program called Land of Song, where he was the lead singer. So I
Mm.
sang in what was then the children's choir, even though I was probably 11 or 12 at the time. So I was
Okay.
one of the older members of the
Just
choir.
singing or you acting as well, or
Oh, little acting. There were very small scenes where there was some movement required and some gestures required with song. So I did some some solo work in that, but it was generally the whole children's choir would sing in harmony or in unison doing that.
Okay, finally, you stop singing at what age?
Yes, well, like I said, when my voice broke, I was advised to actually stop singing until it settled down again. So I would have been about 13, and I really didn't sing much then again until until I basically just before I went off to university.
Oh, unfortunately, Paul, the time is running out.
So,
We cannot continue, but we cannot continue right now. But in the next episodes, we will continue.
okay, look forward to it.
Listen to him, his interesting stories about when he started as a singer. Thank you, Paul, for accepting my invitation.
My pleasure.
Thank you. And thank you to you. Always. Thank you. I am very grateful with you. Thank you for watching us. Thank you for your support, for your comments. Thank you very much. And I will see you in the next episode.